You suck. 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 That is a song of Kurt Angle, but that is debuting as the Halos in the Infield song for today's game and today's series finale, the series in general. That should be the song played for the Angels' offense and pathetic batting. That should be directed towards Artie Moreno and his pathetic performance as an owner. As fans of the Angels, can you really tolerate this shit any more than it's actually gone? I mean, every single time we have an opportunity to say, maybe they're turning the corner, it turns into this bullshit of a series. Outscored 17-2 in 3 games. Let that sink in. You scored 2 runs in 3 games. How are you supposed to win? And yet we still have morons on several different pages, not just this one, but on other pages that are blaming the pitching, saying Detmers isn't ready, Suarez sucks. Really? You guys are giving up 3 runs, and you should be able to score at least a couple runs. At least make it close. But you're too busy hitting into double plays. Fletcher, no productive out. Double play in the 8th inning. Could have changed the game with a hit. Could have at least hit a sacrifice fly. No, we're all swinging for the fences. So you swing over the pitch and you ground it out. Same thing with Upton. Earlier in the game, bases loaded or first and third. Double play. Not trying to go to right field, not trying to do anything that he picked up on or learned earlier in the season. Just all went out the window. Just no one gives a shit. Nobody. So you're telling me a team in a game, okay, forget the last 2 games. You have an opportunity to be an ambassador to the league. Help promote the Angels. Have those cool jerseys. Score some runs, win a game, do something big. Nope. Everyone's swinging for the fences. You're not teaching these guys how to play baseball. The little leaguers aren't learning shit from you. 4 hits. And again, I still have fans out there telling me, be easy on them, man. You know, they've been through injuries. No, your training staff's done it. No, you can still score runs. There's no manufacturing. It's the same thing over and over. So if you didn't think the fat lady was singing before this series, this sure as hell now is singing. I mean, she's singing a full-on chorus. The thing is with this game, with this team, they gave you one more ounce of hope. There is now 36 games left. If I'm Perry Manassian right now, you cut every mother effer that is just 1-year deal. You only got a fraction of the salary left to pay him anyway. Say, F it, we're going all rookies, all youngsters, play through, whatever happens, happens. And if they're showing up and individually doing their job and the manager still is losing games because of his decisions and no one on that coaching staff is directing these players how to be better players, then their asses go too at the end of the season. If you get a chance, I wanted to put the link up there the other night, but please go to YouTube and type in Dark Angel Artie Moreno. Chase found the video. It's new. It was only out 2 or 3 days ago. It traces all the way back to Moreno and what he's done, what we've said on this podcast for weeks, even to the beginning of the season, on why this team sucks. Why that just now, they're trying to repair all the damage that Artie's done, whether it's players signing, forcing issue to get another manager. All that was Artie. We told you first about all the scouts that were gone from the Angels, that all were there when Disney was paying top dollar to get good people in place. Artie has turned a franchise that was once worth only $198 million when he bought it to a team that's worth $2.4 million right now. $2.4 billion with a B. So as we sit here today, we are now convinced, I don't know if anyone who's out of their mind thinking this team has a playoff shot. We are now 7 years into a drought. 7 years now. Because of one, Artie Moreno. My one regret this year is August 14th not bringing the paper bags. Because on September 26th, if I go to that game, I'm bringing paper bags. I'm done. I'm something needs to change. Will it change? Hell no, it won't. Because in a real world, do these changes happen overnight? Do they happen because fans are fed up? No. The owner will continue to make money. There's no reason for him to sell. But maybe you can get a message across that this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing when you got a team up to 5 doing their thing. When you got one down south trying their ass off, even though it's kind of failing right now. But the Padres have built a great team. They're not exactly winning. But you got the Dodgers up there doing their thing. You got the Giants doing their thing. You got Oakland doing their thing. We are the worst in California. It's been a long time since we've had to say that, but we are the worst in California. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to go to a stadium half full when we've had some of the greatest fans for a long time since the resurgence. I mean, we literally lost all the bandwagon fans, which is kind of good in a way, but you kind of want to have the full house too. It's been pathetic to watch as a fan this year, to see how many times they've given us a glimmer of hope and then just snatched it away. That Detroit series was the last glimmer of hope. If you were holding on to any bit of playoff hopes or any bit of way of, hey, this team's going to finish strong, that's out the window. You go play a team, Cleveland, who has the worst hitting in the American League. Texas with no names has a better lineup. Yet Cleveland just went in here and whooped their ass. Didn't even make it close. 17-2. That's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And you're on a stage, your ESPN game of the night. If Madden is anywhere close to the manager, he's
having the right tools.
Hold on. So if he's anyway closer to being a manager and doing his job, he would have said, okay, F it, the last 2 nights we got embarrassed. Come on, guys. Get your asses together. Let's play ball. Let's win a game. Suarez really didn't have that bad of a game. Just 2-run homer. And he gave up an RBI single in the 4th. That's it. You can't blame him. You can't blame the other starters. I don't care if they lost 9-1 the other night. The offense didn't do shit anyway. So even if they give up 5 runs, what's the point? You lose. There's no fight. None. It's embarrassing. Not only as a fan, but these assholes on the field should be embarrassed. And the ones in the dugout should even be doubly embarrassed. Because that's their team they fielded. That's their team they supposedly coach. And that's their team that's going out there looking like they don't give an F. I mean, what happens at work? Let's just say you're working at Walmart and 2 shifts are busting their ass and keeping the store afloat. You got one lazy ass shift, whether it's a night shift or swing shift, not doing their job. It affects everybody, makes everyone look bad. But the thing is, that shift, whoever's running it, usually gets the axe. And they'll probably axe some of the people that are on the floor, causing the trouble, not doing their work. Expect that. Expect that to happen to this team. At some point, if Perry Manassian is the guy truly calling, which I'm hoping is calling the plays behind the scenes instead of how Epler was, a stupid, sorry, pathetic human being, as a baseball mind, being puppeted by freaking Artie Moreno. That's pathetic. Man up, dude. He never manned up, and that's why he's gone. Hopefully, Perry Manassian's different. And we'll see in the offseason, because that's the only way we'll know if there's truly change in this organization. Because otherwise, we're going to get buttercupped again next year. And it's going to be the same shit. Then what's the point of watching if you're not willing to change? As long as we have that dumbass at the top, nothing's going to change. So the only way this changes if Perry Manassian is truly given the keys to the car, Artie Moreno butts the hell out. Look up that freaking YouTube video, Dark Angel Artie Moreno. That's the dude I'm telling you, he's responsible for all this bullshit. As a fan, you invest your time either watching the team or going to the games, buying the merchandise, and that's just what you do. And then as a fan, either friends, family, coworkers will give you shit. That's all part of being a fan. And at some point, you'd like to fire back and be like, hey, we're good. We're in second place. Or we're catching up to first place. Hey, shut the hell up. Blah, blah, blah. No, we've been mired in 3rd and 4th for the last 7 years. And sometimes getting close enough, but just with bargain basement pitching. I want you guys to watch that YouTube video. It will, if you're on the fence about Artie Moreno, And why, or you don't think it's all Artie Moreno? Watch that video. It explains everything. From all the signings to what those players wound up doing after they signed them, who was pulling the trigger, all the stuff that we've been saying on this podcast and others that I've been on for a while now. It all has been justified with actual, with the facts in your face, with the pictures, with everything. This, I'm telling you, this just trickles down. This was a pathetic performance. This was probably, I don't know. I mean, can you guys and girls think of another series more pathetic than this one? More pathetic than this one. It was not worth my time. It was not worth your time. Again, we've said that this last couple weeks. At least go out with a fight. There's no fight in this team. No productive outs. At least when they put, I mean, even when they put runners on, they fuck it up. They don't, it's like they stopped doing what they did to get those runners in scoring position. Instead of saying, hey, let's keep the same mentality, move the base runners from base to base, try to get a fly ball to score a run, at least get on the board. No! Fletcher's swinging for the goddamn fences or trying to pull the ball or do something stupid, hit the right field. Upton's trying to do the same damn thing. When is it going to change? When you put the right people in place. Maybe Perry Manassian was the first guy. I haven't heard of them hiring any new scouts, which is kind of troubling, or better scouts. I haven't heard of them putting more money into that, which is troubling. I've seen them do some changes, but then you had even a more kick in the balls with what's going on with the Sixers and other minor league affiliates to the Angels. It's sad. It makes things even worse because this team is not competitive on the field or off the field. Then you got the drug scandal. We're going to find out who the 5 players were on drugs with Skaggs pretty soon. That's going to court. Dumbass Artie didn't settle out of court. Dumbass Artie is so much of a penny pitcher, even though he's worth billions. He could have spent money to Skaggs' family and made it all go away. But now it's going to court. And now the guy who's behind bars is going to spill his beans. That's going to become public record. We're going to know who was all involved. And we're going to know the players, and it's going to suck. Because we're going to look at some of these players even worse. Or maybe it was one of your favorite players, and look at what happened. It's another damning eye to this organization. Like, we don't need any more of this shit. You need to turn the corner, revitalize. Who would have thought back in the day some people were like, oh, I hate Disney. I can't believe Disney owns the Angels. That sucks. Really? Now looking back at it, I'm like, damn, that was the best thing that ever happened to this organization. You know, Gene Autry, God bless his heart, tried his ass off, but just things never fell into place for him. But Disney made things much better. They made it to the World Series. They had some of the best scouts in baseball. They spent money on the organization to a point where they lost $10 million a year. That's the reason why they sold the team in the first place, because they weren't turning a profit. Had they just waited for inflation and for all the league mandated, for all the TV contracts, I guarantee you Disney would have kept the team. But Artie Moreno came around at the right time, bought the team for pennies on the dollar to him, and now look what it's worth. Now look what his profit is now. Because he waited it out and he got those damn TV contracts. If those TV contracts came before Disney sold, Disney would still be owning this team. But because of that bad luck that the Angels have, dude, we're stuck with dumbass Artie, who could have been a pillar in this community. First Latino owner, he could have been like a god to the Southern California area, a role model to all the youth of Hispanic people. Could have been like, hey, you know what? Look at this guy. He went from like nothing. He built his empire. Now he owns a big part of Southern California. He owns all the area around. That guy is great. No, he's done everything to shit on his own reputation by being a dumbass owner. The politics he's picked has pissed a lot of people off. And he's done a lot of stuff like where he could have been someone outspoken in the community, chooses to be quiet unless the team's winning. And which hasn't happened in 7 years. So if you ask most people in Anaheim that are casual fans or not fans at all, hey, who's Artie Moreno? I don't know. He should be well known. He should be doing ribbon cuttings and all this shit. But he's not. And he just is one of these guys that's making terrible call after terrible call, terrible decision after terrible decision. It's pathetic. I'm sorry I went into a long-winded thing. I'm going to try to catch up on these comments. Angels offense makes the pitcher look like he could win a Cy Young, Dylan says. Halo Fan Steve says, let's talk about anything but the Angels. Nats fan says there needs to be a law against no Buttercup song. There you go. And Matty V, the Angels bats are cold as beers. Halo fans has already spent $1.1 billion on bad contracts since he took over the team. Absolutely. Rant Todd, rant. Thank you. Keith says can't make this shit up. T says fuck this team getting swept by the damn Guardians. Tabora says the Steviliest, there you go. The California Little League team is better than this team. It is, and it's probably going to win the championship. Offense needs to change their approach. That's like the most common thing that they should have done all year, and they haven't. Halo fan Steve says, pitchers should strive to have 3 runs or less. It happens to our offense, but even they can't get on the board, though. So even if they get 2 runs or less, it's still not winning. T says, I'm sorry about the out of here early. This team is sad. It is. Don't worry about it. Jack Sports is just laughing. They never failed to disappoint us. Juan says, and now watch this team win against the Orioles just to make us believe that they have chances to be decent. Have some pride, damn it. James says, dude. I mean, have you not been watching this team all year, James? This team has been a roller coaster and has been terrible. And it's been terrible. What MLB doesn't have injuries, Angels have no excuses. Thanks, Ace. And Ace is a freaking, if you guys don't know out there, she's a season ticket holder. She's watched this team more than anybody. She's watched batting practice. She's watched when they don't do batting practice. So as a fan, I trust her takes out of everybody. And Drizzle says, if this team has the same stuff next year, it's going to be another 500 year. I agree. Yes, I watched all the video on Artie. It's true, all of it. There you go. Dylan says, the team just can't make momentum, man. Sweep, no, get swept, win, lose, or and over again. Definition of 500. Watch, and again, like you guys said, Orioles, they'll take that series. We'll be right back to 500. Win 2 out of 3 against Baltimore, or 500 again. Halo fan Steven says the Angels have a chance at the playoffs for next season. Yes, exactly. They're eliminated this season, though. That's what everyone said every year. Solar says, "What? Why are we ass when we played the Indians half of the time? I don't know. I feel you." James says, and the Tiger series was the biggest joke on us so far. It was actually because they played their asses off in that series and they did the things to win, just to come back to this series and do absolutely bullshit. They should have be ashamed of themselves. There you go, James. I'm agree with there. Rayu says, one day it's going to be pitching that sucks. The next day it's going to be hitting non-existent. Los Angeles Demons of Anaheim, Steven says. Dylan says, yep, the pitchers all become Cy Young level and the offense dies and switch to repeat. And Drizzle says, Perry needs to take control and tell Artie to get the fuck out of anything baseball related. There you go. Sadly, he can't tell Artie that because he's the boss, Keith says. Artie Moreno is LA's Dark Angel of Anaheim. There you go. That's the name of the video. When it's on, when is the paper bag game? I'll be there. And Drizzle says, I think it's going to be late September, dude. We're going to do that for sure. I'll try to make paper bags when I go to the Angels versus Yankees. There you go, Keith. 9/26, a paper bag game in Anaheim. There you go. I think I'm in for that, guys. I think I am. I'm going to be there on the 26th. Giants series was bad in every Oakland series. Trout will not be back this season, Trout here says. His interview said no. And there you go. I mean, there's no need for him to come back. Like, he's going to light a fire in these guys with 36 games to go? No way. The chair says Angels showing the little leaguers how not to play the game. And then let's see. My boy Rally Chris says, what was Papa Fox thinking about this series? He thought it was pathetic. He thought this series really summed up the way the Angels have been playing all season, which is pathetic. Fire Perry and the hitting coaches. Grillmaster says, no, I wouldn't fire Perry. He's talking about extensions, get rid of all these guys. Halo fan Steve says, hey, guys, leave Artie alone. He lowered beer prices by $2 over 10 years ago. That made the team competitive somehow. Keith says, we need to give Disney a contract to buy the Angels. I don't care how bad we look. Oh, dude, I would seriously say, man, let's just do anything. I mean, come on, man. They gotta take this team back. Grillmaster says, never Steven. Arby gets all the shit all the night till we are dead. Grillmaster, let's see. Hold on. Let me go back here. Let's see. No sarcasm. This, to be honest, about Artie. Everyone else, maybe, because the team is just, we'd love to get rid of Artie. That's for damn sure. That little league kid who had a no-no would throw a perfect game against these a-holes. I get you there. Keith says, saw the Artie video when it first dropped, immediately thought of our rants on Artie. There it is. And that's the thing. If we can see it, I'm pretty sure someone's got it back to him. Will he change? Will his ego be big enough to be like, no, I know baseball better than these idiots do. They can go and make their YouTube videos. They can go and bring their trash bags and all this other stuff. I mean, they're going to come out. He's going to come out and say something stupid like that. I don't think the they always say that no news is good news. Sometimes you can avoid stuff like that. I think with Artie, what he should have did to pay off Skaggs' mom and the widow and everything else like that should have been done, like straight up. The fact that he's not going or even entertaining settling with them is so stupid. It's going to drag the franchise through the mud even more. I think it's pathetic, and that's just where we're going. Solar says, I hate Artie. The Angels don't have a chance at the playoffs until Moreno is gone out of existence. Squirrelmaster says, Trouter here says, what's the name of the Artie video? I think it's Dark Angel. Or no, it was on there, and Drizzle put it on there. To be honest, Perry should be the owner. I wish he was. Ace says, Ohtani wasn't having an MVP season. I would be selling the rest of the season seats this year. There you go. By the way, Todd, I'm ready for my hat to be sent. Oh, okay, because he's heading up to college. I'll take care of it for you. Don says, I'm late, huh? Kind of, but you're here, though. That's all that matters. Ace says, Disney had a great rewards programs for season ticket holders. Don Hammond says, terrible series for us guys. Let's ride the sucker out. Win or lose or draw. Halo fan says, are we still doing the trucker hat trivia? Give some fun times today, bro. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do the trucker hat trivia. Give me a few minutes. I'll get on that. I wasn't really going to go into that one too much. I was just pissed off with my rant and everything like that. Let's see, where are the sell the team shirts? Oh, that's on Redbubble. If you want to go to redbubble.com, it says sell the team Artie, and it has a paper bag with the Halos in the infield logo on it, made up by Randy. So if you want to look at that, go to redbubble.com, look up Halos in the infield, and it'll be one of the designs. So you can check it out there. There's plenty of us right there, or plenty of shirt designs to check out. So yeah, we have look, this team. I'm going to get into one more rant before I do the trucker hat trivia. And here's the thing. This team has been in flux for 7 years. It's been in flux for 7 years. They if you go to that video and you check out what happened with DePoto, you kind of feel bad for him because the way the organization painted him out to be was that he was a dumbass and he didn't know what he was doing. And, for the first couple of years when he went to Seattle, he had a train wreck there that he had to take over. Now you look at Seattle. Seattle's kind of built better with no talent, really, with no superstars. And they're actually so young and so youthful and a lot of promise showing up. Seattle could be a force next year. And for the next couple of years moving on with the right kind of free agents being brought in, Seattle could do something. They're not going to be a pushover anymore. And it's just sad that they were able to say, we have faith in you, DePoto. Let's hit the reset button and let's see what you could do. And he's done a great job so far up there in Seattle. He's made a couple questionable moves, I will say that, but for the most part, he's got Seattle competing. You can't say that about the Angels. And Epler wasn't given the shot, I don't think, because he's such a puppet, to reset and try to start over and try to rebuild this team. Artie thinks this is a championship team every year. But a championship team doesn't sign Julio Teheran and says, hey, you're going to be our number 2 or number 3 guy. That's not going to work. A championship team doesn't say Dylan Bundy's our number 1. A championship team doesn't say Andrew Heaney's our number 1. Let's not forget that happened in 2020 or 2019. So you can't fool yourself. You could paint a turd purple and say it's a shiny. It's not a turd. It's just a shiny. Something shiny now. You can paint it gold. In the end of the day, it's still a turd. So that's what we're trying to do here, or that's what they were trying to do. But now you got 2 generational players on this team. You got Fletcher. You've got a few other guys. Stassi, Promise. You got good young pitching coming up. You got almost a full rotation, but you still want an ace to anchor it. You got freaking Ohtani in that rotation. There's a bullpen piece. If you just choose to sign him, he's right there for the taking, can be your closer for the next 3 to 5 years. There's all this promise right there. What are they going to do with it? Is Artie going to do the same thing they said in the video? Too afraid to go over the luxury tax? Or is he going to continue to have bad contracts? Is he going to let Perry do his thing? This team is just in flux. It's in flux until we know what's up. Again, the only thing that changed this year so far for me is forget the trade deadline. I think the trade deadline was a bit of a failure if those guys don't come up to the majors and do their thing. Like Selman has shit himself too many times coming up, but we haven't seen the other young kids and what they're going to do, the pitching prospects and whatnot. So you can't really nix that trade deadline. I think Manassian's hands were again handcuffed. But this offseason, this will determine if we're stuck with another yes man general manager or we got someone that's got balls. And if we have someone that's got balls and will stand up to the idiot owner, then just maybe this team can be good again. Just maybe we're not going to be the laughing stock of the AL West. Because right now we are. When you have ownership and team leadership and coaching all on the same page, things like Houston take place where they consistently win. They turn around a franchise. Things like Oakland on the same page, continue to win, continue to move forward, continue to bring talent in. Seattle, changing the culture, rebuilding, getting the right people in place. Where you don't see that in the AL West, Texas and the Angels, dysfunctional organizations. And I was never more saddened than to watch that video and see everything that's gone wrong. Some things on that video I didn't even know about made me feel less like excited to be an Angels fan. And I'll admit that. Like, damn, dude, we're really that fucked up on the inside. I mean, man, it took me back. I watched that video and it took me back. I'm like, dude, like, how are we that bad of an organization in a short amount of time? Sometimes it takes organizations years to get bad. Artie just progressively went at it and tanked it fairly quickly. But they had so much talent in place when he first took over. It nearly lasted a decade. Nearly a decade before everything started to go to shit and everything that Artie had brought in then started to come to fruition. That's how it went. I just don't want it to take another decade to get better again. I don't think any of us do. We deserve better. We deserve to see better. Okay. So enough said right there. I'm going to get back to some of these comments, and then I'll get into the, Trucker Hat Trivia. And we'll get out of here. Tyler Anderson on Seattle says he's actually decent. Watch him throw versus us, Grillmaster says. And Drizzle says, I hate to say because I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone, but I can't wait till Artie leaves his earth. He's 75, and maybe there's 15 years left to him. I don't want him to leave the earth. I just want him to sell the damn team. I wish there was some sort of sex tape out there. And Drizzle says, I don't see anyone else buying the team off of him. I don't either. Angels depleted the farm system and shot the team in the foot for years. And Drizzle says, why is it everyone's so afraid to go over the luxury tax? Because you're paying other teams. But when you're printing money like the Dodgers, it doesn't matter. You're selling $20 beer cans, 6 maybe to a person at times. Or 4 to a person. Wants and warrants are fines right there. Isaiah says his team is embarrassing. Solar says I forgot to do the new general manager and Joe Madden leaving, or I forgot we have the new general manager. Kurt Suzuki says, what's the video called? I think it is. Someone corrected me earlier, but I think it's Dark Angel, Artie Moreno. Check that out on YouTube. I think we need to accept that Artie is never going to do anything for this organization. He simply doesn't care about baseball, and he only cares about money. I know I shouldn't said the D word, but Artie, no, okay, don't go there. Alex, I already told you about that one. Angela says, yeah, the video definitely made me feel sad about being an Angels fan. Feels like there's no hope while Artie's on the throne. I'm sorry, but Ohtani will never win a championship with us. Isaiah's, and it's hard to go out there and say that he is or that he's not, because just the way that this team is framed up and the way they're moving forward, it's just you kind of feel that they're going to be in the same position later on how they are now with Trout. Solar, let's see, the videos are sad but true. Solar says it's called LA's Dark Angel. There you go, LA's Dark Angel of Anaheim. I keep screwing that up. Solar says he'll be selling the team for $2 billion as a new owner. It might be $3 billion because of all the adjacent area that he now purchased from the city of Anaheim surrounding it. So he has a lot more money coming in. Let's see. Trouter here says, if this is how the team is going to be, let's trade Trout and give him a chance to win somewhere else. Just go a urinating tree channel in most of a recent video. There you go. Urinating tree channel. That is the name of the channel, actually. That is true. Fuck Artie right there, James says. So let's get into some trivia here. let's just say I'm gonna give you guys an easy one, and then I'll mail it out probably Tuesday because I don't have any in house right now, but I'll have one on should have one hat to give out on Tuesday. So I'm gonna stick with trucker hat trivia here. Let's go with this one. Let's see if we can name one here. Let's see. I got to give you guys one closer here because you guys have been complaining about not having a good or recent one. You guys always say 2002 and above, but I like to go back into all Angels history because that's what we're going to do in the off season. Going to give you a lot of Angels history to try to get into. So before we do that, let's see. Read one more comment here. By the way, Jose Marte, we just got in the trade. He was making his minor league debut and got injured. That's a very Angels thing to do, and that's just no surprise. So let's get to the trucker hat trivia real quick. Who was all right? You know how every team has a specific late inning outfield replacement, or they have a what do you call it? A speed guy that you have to take over for running for somebody on the bases. There was two of them in 2002. Can you name me the one who made a lot of big catches? He was number 18. Name me that one. The first one to get it gets the trucker hat. So he was number 18, I believe, for the Angels in 2002. Let's see if you guys can get it. He was not a starter. He was off the bench. He helped. He was there for defensive purposes and also to run the bases for slower base runners. So let's see if you can get it. Halo fan Steve says Figgins. No, it's not Figgins. Ace says that she knows, but she's won too much. You got one more week, Ace, and then you could be back at it. So let's see. Who can get this one? 2002. It's not Figgins. Let's see if you guys can get this one. See, Figgins was a go-to. Everyone, there you go. Alex got it. Alex Leon got it. Alex Ochoa was the guy that they got, I believe, from the Brewers. They brought him in late season. He actually made some fine catches in the outfield. Didn't play too much in the postseason other than defensive replacement, late in games, or he stole bags. But he was one of those September guys that played a lot through, because the Angels were, pretty much in a good position that year postseason wise. They were winning a lot of games, but he was a good filler. And he was a lot like Sean Figgins. I think that was Sean Figgins' first full year. They were kind of alternating both of them, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that dude was Alex Ochoa was a decent player, not a starter with the Angels, and that's a great thing that the Angels had brought in a former starter, and then they what do you call it? They just he wasn't good enough to start for the Angels. So that's something that we haven't said for a long time. I mean, they were able to bring in talent that was starters somewhere else to fill the bench. That's how loaded that team was offensively. Pitching-wise, starting pitching, they weren't that loaded. They just did enough to get the victories or at least get you to the bullpen, which was great. They were feisty guys. The bullpen was really the MVP of that team, but the hitting was phenomenal. The hitting was great. You could plug in an Alex Ochoa and a Sean Figgins, and they were pretty much starters on any other team. They were really good, especially back then. So, yeah, Alex Ochoa was definitely a good player right there. So, yeah, dude, Alex, DM me, and I will send you that hat tomorrow. So I'll get that, or Tuesday. I'm sorry. I'll send that out Tuesday to you. So it was Alex Ochoa, and then the chair's chiming in with Figgins wore number 6 in 2002. Yeah, before he wore number 9. And speaking of number 9, I really missed Gary DiSarcina. That was one of my favorite players. He just never really latched on with this organization. He wound up going to Boston, I believe. I had a team, and the Angels was their name. James says Brandon Wood and Drizzle. No, Brandon Wood. What a 4A player. If you ever what do you call it? He was a 4-way player, never made the major leagues or never did anything major leagues. Ace says, yeah, Ochoa only started 4 games in the regular season. Yeah, Ace, he was a starter with Milwaukee, but like when he came over to the Angels, he was like the perfect utility fill-in late in the game, if someone needed to get a rest or whatever. Let's see, I'll never feel the same. James, hopefully things turn around, man. That's the whole thing we're waiting for. Let's see. Yeah, Gary DiSarcina wound up being a coach for Boston Red Sox. I think he left over there. He did some commentary, I think, for them. I think so. So we Angels as an organization never, really keep their guys close. I think if you look at Jim Edmonds, he doesn't claim being an Angel. I saw an interview with him the other day. He's got nothing but Cardinals memorabilia. He had a I Love St. Louis shirt. That was really a real terrible mistake by the Angels letting him go, or trading him, I should say. And they fell in love with him in St. Louis. I think Eckstein doesn't have any loyalty to the organization either. Eckstein, I think, was trying to work with the Cardinals, then wound up being a coach with his brother with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So there's a lot of former Angels that they could have kept in-house. I think the two that they've kept in-house, at least close to the organization, but not brought them in as coaches, obviously, is Salmon and Anderson. But I would like Gloss to come around a little bit more. Darren Erstad's been doing his own thing in the college ranks. I think a little bit in the minors. Percival, the same thing. There's just certain guys that, you'd wish you'd keep around the organization, and keep it as maybe, coaches, potential coaches one day. But they've gone other places. And Weaver's one that has expressed his love for Anaheim and would love to be a part of this organization, and they have not reached out an olive branch at all. And that is truly pathetic upon this organization. And especially in the 60th year anniversary, I know there's a lot of old guys. They were worried about COVID and everything, but come on, we're trucking out all these people now. We're filling up the stands. If they want to wear masks when we're doing the ceremonies or we're honoring certain players, do it. But no, the Angels are pathetic, and they don't honor any of their old guys. They don't teach the youngsters about, I could say Chuck Finley and all these 20-year-olds and younger, 25-year-olds don't know who the hell he is. They don't know he's the all-time winningest Angels pitcher. They don't know anything. I mean, that's from the freaking 90s, or even sometimes you could even throw out a 2002 name. They don't know who the hell that is because no one, they better know next year when it's the 20th year anniversary, but I doubt it. This marketing team sucks. They don't know how to promote their own freaking franchise. You can make so much more money. And all I heard this year, last thing I'm going to say, is all I heard this year when the Angels wore those supposed 70s jerseys that were really 80s, when they wore those jerseys, how everyone said they're fire and how everyone said, man, I wish they'd keep those jerseys. Those are fresh-looking jerseys. Well, those were our throwbacks. Minnesota Twins use those in their rotation, those sky blue ones. Same thing with Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals have done it. Other teams have gone back to their 70s looks and used them multiple times. And what happens? They're able to sell more merchandise, get their team more prevalent because it looks cool. You know how many people love to buy jerseys and hats? And, there's the hat club. There's all that stuff, right? They could be marketing this stuff in Moreno for a guy who thinks he knows what he's doing marketing-wise, sucks at marketing, sucks at promoting. Same old Trout, same old Ohtani stuff, giveaways. There's nothing original about this franchise. They don't go back in time and say, hey, Bert Blyleven was a great pitcher with the Angels. They don't say Dean Chance was an all-time Angel. They don't go back and honor Gene Autry too much. They don't do a lot of stuff that true Angel fans and old-timers know, but if the kids knew about it, it'd be cool. Franchises, let me give you a good example. There's a reason why most kids that are Grill Masters age or younger that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans know who Terry Bradshaw is, know who the Steel Curtain was, because those teams promote their past. Why Packer fans know who Vince Lombardi is to this day. He hasn't coached in over 50, 60 years. But fans know about him because they show and they promote and they honor their history on a yearly basis. That's why Packer fans know when a former great dies who he is. That's why Dodger fans know who their players are when they pass away. You can name kids know who Sandy Koufax is because they promote their guys. We don't do that. And that's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. So I wish things would change. Do I see them changing? No. Artie Moreno is the guy that's got to go. Until we get someone in there passionate about this franchise, it's going to continue to mull along unless, like we said, Manassian turns the table. So, again, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to read a couple comments and I'm going to get the hell out of here. Let's see. Way to go. Let's see. Hello Fan says, what happened to D-Star? Oh, I already answered that one. Yeah, you did win, Alex. God damn it. I wanted another hat. Grillmaster says, why can't Disney buy our team again? That is one question I wish that could be answered. Didn't the Angels screw over Benji Molina as well? They just let him go. They just let him go, and that was under the Artie watch. So Solar says yes, and then shout out from Chicago. Fernando's over there. He touched down earlier. Let's see. Ace says they had to pay
$3,500 per player to appear at the 50th anniversary season. They had to pay $10,000 to Nolan Ryan in 2018 for the bobblehead giveaway. But Ace, let me tell you this, Ace. That's nothing to a major league organization. Now, if that's a minor league team trying to pay that to get some buzz, that's another story. But they have so much money in this franchise. And again, we've said this franchise is worth $2.4 billion, almost $5 billion. That should not be a problem for a franchise to bring in some players sporadically, pay $10,000. What is that? $10,000 is like a section of really premium seating. A section. If you sell that out, that pays for that player. That's pennies on the dollar. It could be made up so many other ways. It's just this team refuses to do stuff like that. They refuse to just say, hey, you know what? It costs money to make money. And this team doesn't want to do that. It just does not want to do that. And for an organization this rich, supposedly, not taking care of your minor leaguers, not taking care of your history, if you don't give a fuck what you're showing us and trying to, build in front of us, we're not going to give a fuck at some point. So as much as Ace has ties in this team, I have ties in this team, you or your family does and has grown up an Angel fan, at some point you're going to get sick and tired of it. And you're first going to be apathetic, like most of us have been. And then you're just going to start to find other things to do. And then you just might not care after a while until things change. I've seen a lot of fans like that with different teams. And the Angels could lose a lot of fans over this. Or at least have a lot of them just not care anymore. A lot of fans like Ace have been toughing this thing out. But there might be a day where some fans just be like, man, I don't want to spend that much money. If maybe I'll just get a 20-game plan. Maybe I'll just go a couple times a month. Why do I have to buy an 81-game season? Why do I have to make plans to go to spring training? And that's no fault of theirs. It's not saying that they're less of a fan or anything. It's just at some point you'd like to see something change. Like I've said millions of times before, if this team goes down with a fight, you're more invested because they're trying hard. You can see a light at the end of the tunnel. You can say, okay, it may take us a couple years, but we'll be back on top. But when you don't have that light at the end of the tunnel and you've been beaten down year after year, I don't fault anybody for dropping off in any way, whether it's just a little bit or a lot. I don't really fault you for that. I really don't. Because you're only human, and sometimes you just can't take things being sucky all the time with you're not seeing any change. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Big 20 says, is the game over? Yeah, you missed it, bro. You missed it for sure. The game is over, and they lost again. Whoop-de-woo. Big surprise. So as we leave you for the rest of this day today, congratulations to Alex about the trucker hat trivia. Again, DM me, and I'll get back to you on the information to send you out that hat. And then stay tuned for another series, which starts with Baltimore. Ooh.